Change the Game. Proudly brought to you by the QCCS Mackay Cutters.
Hi everyone, welcome to QCCS Mackay Cutters Change the Game Vodcast podcast. I'd like to acknowledge the Yui people of the Kulin Nation and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. We are talking performance nutrition with CQ Nutrition. We're lucky to be joined by two guests today. We have Jasmine Peters to my left. Welcome, Jazzy.
Thank you.
Jazzy, BHP player this year with the Gold Stars and local Mackay talent, rugby league player. Grew up playing for the North Devils and Brothers. And we also have Lina Jackson from CQ Nutrition. Welcome, Lina.
Hello, everyone. Thank you.
Accredited dietitian and newly community member in Mackay. Just moved up from the Gold Coast and originally from
Lithuania. Yes, that's it.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
Both talking about this performance nutrition and then our link to wellbeing as well. Lina, let's talk about what does a healthy diet look like. If we can start with you and you can run us through a little bit of your background too. To start with, that'd be great, and then we'll be able to talk about what a healthy diet looks like.
I can talk about healthy diet for hours, so we're not going to fit in this podcast then.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Lina Jackson. I'm newly graduate dietitian from Griffith University on the Gold Coast. I came to Australia 11 years ago from Lithuania, where I actually worked as a journalist, paper journalist. So, moved to Mackay just last year when I got a job offer from CQ Nutrition Clinic. Well, it was best choice, I guess, because I enjoy it so much. Mitch, you asked about healthy diet. I guess everyone knows pretty much what is a healthy diet looks, right? So it's a variety of colors.
Well, so your practice is CQ Nutrition. Everyone who walks through the door, do they know what a healthy diet looks like?
Pretty much like everyone knows, but they don't do it. So we tweak a little bit just according to everyone, because we all eat a little bit differently. We all have our preferences, foods that we enjoy and foods actually we absolutely dislike, right? So, or people as well got some intolerances such as lactose intolerance or gluten intolerance. So we work accordingly to everyone's preferences and likings. But in general, healthy diet is 5 food groups. So you want to have a little bit of protein on your plate, such as lean cuts of meat, fish, chicken, eggs, low-fat dairy. Also, load up your plate with vegetables and or salads, right? Some fruit, plus healthy complex carbohydrates for your energy, such as grains or a little bit as well of fruit, beans, legumes, right? Yeah, and don't forget to hydrate yourself. Water is your best option.
Mm-hmm. So lots of colour on the plate.
Lots of colour on your plate, lots of fibre, lots of minerals, lots of nutrients.
Yeah, great. What about your quantity of your food on your plate?
Again, it depends. If you would look at Jazz, who is professional rugby player, right? She needs a little bit more than I, who sit in the office for 12 hours maybe, yeah? Also, depending on your age, on your performance goals, I guess. Yeah, it depends.
Okay. So, Jasmine, you've just signed an NRLW contract with the Gold Coast Titans. Firstly, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So you start training with them in the new year, leading to the season. So what are some things that you're doing right now to help prepare for training, you know, your current diet and your training? How does that work together?
Mostly it's just trying to take as many snacks throughout the day, so like protein snacks or bars, protein shakes. I buy them from work. I think we sell True Protein.
Yes, True.
Yeah. And also just making sure that is approved, so I can take it as an athlete. Again, just looking at a balanced diet, just having a good breakfast, a good lunch, obviously having your snacks in between and a good dinner. And then, just doing what Lina says, making sure that's colourful, and then I'm hitting every 5 groups. So.
Yeah. What are some examples of your snacks?
Snacks. Just looking at some fruit, vegetables, so cheese, crackers, all that type of stuff, or like protein bars that we also sell at work. So yeah.
I saw Jazz, by the way, one there's a little 5 minutes break, and she had Ryvita biscuits and tuna. And I thought, how good is that? She is just, perfect example of great eating.
Yeah, so hitting some carbohydrates and protein.
Carbohydrates, protein, plus from tuna, for example, calcium, which is involved in every muscle relaxation and contraction, in neurotransmitters and everything. So carbohydrates for energy, perfect.
Yeah, so great for brain health.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. What else is good if we talk a little bit more about brain health through diet and nutrition? What are some tips you can give people out there for that?
Mitch, brain are just so metabolically active, right? It consumes, actually super hungry, consumes around 20% of our energy intake. So we definitely have to think about brain, and it's a good question you asked. So from fatty fish to fiber and carbohydrates, it's just, again, all range of nutrients that brain require, because brain is just made up of fat, right? So think about fatty fish full of omega-3. So if you have exam next day, or you have to think, hard next day, so it would be good to have, for example, maybe salmon or mackerel or sardines night before.
And good fats like avocado and nuts.
And a little bit of avocado, nuts as well. Nuts, great source of magnesium as well. So again, magnesium is such important mineral for brain health, because it's responsible for that good feeling. And if we are deficient in magnesium, it hurts our good bacteria, so gut lining and everything. So imagine if you are not feeling right in your stomach, right? Can you think well? No, you can't. You can't do anything pretty much. So magnesium is very important. Also folate, which is big group of vitamin, very important, such as green leafy vegetables and things like that. Also, let's not forget vitamin D, which is responsible for serotonin, happy, good feeling hormone in our brain as well. Yeah, which we get from sunlight or mushrooms or eggs, things like that.
Yeah, great. So is that saying you are what you eat pretty true?
That's it.
Yeah.
Junk food, junk cells.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. I haven't heard that. So, Jasmine, if you are what you eat, what do you eat for breakfast and dinners? Give us a little bit more of an example of what's on your plate as an athlete.
Yeah, for breakfast during the season, I'll have 2 pieces of sourdough bread. I'll have avocado and feta I'll make myself, and then I'll have eggs on top of that, and if I'm feeling fancy, I'll put bacon. And then that would pretty much be it for my breakfast, and then obviously some water or a cup of tea, and then I'll have a snack like crackers and cheese or tuna and crackers in between that breakfast and lunch. And for lunch will be either last night's leftovers, or I'll have like a salad, Caesar salad, and then tuna and bickies as well, yogurt. I have a pretty big lunch, and then I'll have another snack like a protein bar or protein shake afterwards. And then dinner's pretty much just like steak, pastas, chicken, rice, and all of that.
So is that a typical training day?
That's pretty much
consuming?
my whole week is pretty much like that.
Yeah, because you're training every day or sometimes twice a day?
Yeah, definitely. Most times I'm training twice a day.
Yeah, so we're fueling for performance. So,
Yep.
Lina, what are some of those some of the foods we need to consume to help us be able to perform at our best?
Yeah, good question. We definitely have to think about nutrition for performance, for fueling your body, right? So protein is absolutely major group to think. So protein such as lean cuts of meat, chicken, fish, eggs, also dairy products. It repairs your muscle fibers. It helps with growth and development, if we think about adolescents as well. Also carbohydrates. So carbohydrates such as whole grains, oats for breakfast, for example. So as well has to be around, for athletes, around 10 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram. Okay. So it's very important, and it's important to fuel your body actually before 1 hour before your training.
Yeah, so timing is important in that.
Timing
as
is
you
important
mentioned,
as
because we
well.
don't want to have an upset stomach while we're
That's
either
it.
training or playing.
Yeah.
So good lead-in time with your when you eat.
Yeah,
to be able to-
absolutely. You don't want too much fat, too much fiber. Maybe before training again, you can upset your, tummy a little bit, or not enough of carbohydrates. You're not gonna perform that well. You won't have energy.
So Jazzy, have you had any experience in that? Has it been a bit of a learning experience as you've been growing up and going?
Yeah, no, I definitely had to learn on the go. Like, just when I was younger, I did multiple sports, so I had to learn how to eat properly at a young age. Now that I'm older, I've taken that experience where I'm like, I've got to eat at least 1 or 2 hours before training just so I have enough energy, and then to train and then to feel a lot better about myself and how I feel afterwards. I'm not feeling tired and not energetic. I'm feeling motivated and having the energy to do my best and perform in training and in the game as well.
Yeah, and then recovery. Post. What are we consuming for recovery on?
Oh, so pretty much I'll have chocolate milk or iced coffee or whatever type of milk that we do have available. If you're talking sense of physical as well, I'm in the ice bath or in a pool, making sure that my injuries are maintained.
Yeah.
And then back to, I'm having a lot of water, so making sure that whatever weight that I did lose during the game, that I'm having 1.5 litres per kilo that I've lost, just to rehydrate myself, having some Powerades or Gatorades, and then also just making sure that I am eating after the game as well.
So Lina, how important is that window post-training or event to consume within a certain amount of time? What is that time?
Yeah, for men and women it's different. So women, they are not small, men. They work as well around they work around their cycle is different hormones as well. So that window, post-training window for ladies, female athletes is just 30 minutes, whereas for men 2 hours.
Okay.
So it's important for female athletes actually to have something straight away after the training. So for example, like break a milk, chocolate milk shake, or with protein, added protein, or just simple sandwich with like chicken, a little bit of avocado, salad would do it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the best forms of recovery is, a lot of people do know, is sleep. So how do we use our diet to help us sleep better?
Well, again, the diet full of minerals and vitamins will help that, because magnesium, for example, will help you to relax your muscle. Also will help to send messages to your brain to, switch that relaxation as well.
So if we're not using that magnesium through a supplement, how are we getting magnesium through our diet?
Through nuts,
Mainly nuts?
mainly nuts, and dark green leafy vegetables such as spinach, as well broccoli, cabbage.
Okay.
So vegetables very important and different colors. But I guess it's good if it's we're talking about adult athletes. It's good to supplement with magnesium, because magnesium is involved in like 300 chemical reactions as we speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I do take a supplement magnesium, and I just follow the guidelines of the Swiss bottle. I take 2 tablets per day, but
Excellent.
Does it depend on myself, the body weight, what I'm doing? How would I know how much magnesium I need to supplement?
It's a good question. So it's always good to go and see your GP and do blood test annually. It's good to check your bloods, because it's not just magnesium, it's also vitamin D, which can contribute to fatigue. So many athletes are actually deficient in iron, vitamin D, and magnesium. So it's good to check your bloods, just to make sure, because by looking at you, I won't be able to tell what you're deficient at. Yeah.
Yeah, and this also leads to stress as well, and having a good, well-balanced diet can help balance that stress. And
absolutely, definitely. Plus recovery and rest. It's important to actually sleep and recover, and not just go every day, because you can't pour from empty glass.
So let's talk more about energy in versus energy out. So when we say that, what am I referring to when I say energy in, energy out?
Referring about how many calories you're consuming and how much you're burning. So again, it depends how much muscle you got, which is metabolically active tissue, right? So versus, for example, 70 kilograms men and 70 kilograms women, for example, can have absolutely different muscle mass, so different energy requirements again. So what's good about Secure Nutrition Clinic, we have in-body scans where we can actually see exactly how much muscle mass you got, how much visceral fat, which is fat around your organs, how much total body water you have and everything like that. So analyze your body composition and actually make, do individualized meal plans and tweak your diet according to your requirements.
So if we use Jasmine as an example, as our athlete in the chair at the moment, have you done a body scan lately, or what do you know what your calorie in versus calorie out ratio is?
Oh no, I haven't done one for a while. Probably not since July.
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell you off by heart, to be honest.
What was it back then, roughly?
I was sitting at about 72 kilos, so I was
In season.
in season. Not exactly sure about the other ones, but I did know that I was within the healthy range, and my muscle mass was sitting higher than my visceral fats as well. So that was pretty good to see that. But in saying that, like using the body scan, not specifically looking at the numbers, but showing that that percentage is higher than my visceral fats, made me very comfortable in the fact that what I am doing with my body, I am putting in more good energy than storing the bad energy. So I'm not storing a lot of fats, and I'm keeping active. I'm eating properly, so I'm not being inactive and all that. Yeah.
I remember Jasmine's actually body composition because I looked and compared hers to myself. Jas got like massive muscle mass. She's very strong. She's an athlete.
Yeah,
and
totally.
what she does as well, what I noticed, she's very good at balancing her plate. So she always puts like around 30 to 50 grams of protein per main meal, which is fantastic. Also, she has a good amount of carbohydrates, so ranging between 40 to 50 grams of carbohydrates. So yeah, plus vegetables, all colorful vegetables on her plate, plus always big bowl of water. Yeah. She's amazing. Yeah.
Well, let's move on. We haven't got too much time, Lina. You've got to get to your clients at CQ Nutrition.
That's
so
it, yeah.
Thank you very much for making the time to come and have this chat. But let's just connect the dots between if someone's eating a bad diet, has bad nutrition, how can they start to improve, and then how do they keep the habit of eating healthy? What's some tips that you can...
Yeah, it's for some people, it's so hard to make that change. You have to be ready, or at least contemplate, I want to get this change and I want to get healthy, want to be healthy, want to feel better. So just little changes, little swaps would help. So just adding, for example, one more vegetable on your plate. Maybe having chicken roast or lean cut of, meat on your plate instead of just, McDonald's or KFC food.
Yeah.
Sorry for mentioning the names. Because just, reducing that saturated fat, which is clogging your arteries and doesn't help with performance, can improve actually your mood, your well-being, your, how you feel in general. You would feel just a little bit lighter, more flexible, feeling better. So that will motivate you in the future as well. And it's good to see the dietitian, I guess, as well, that could help to tweak your diet and help with improvement, because, you need professional advice sometimes.
Yeah, so what is the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist?
Good question. Nutritionist more has to do with individualized meal plans, just, making recipes for cafes or for individuals. And dietitian is medical nutrition therapist. So we work with chronic diseases, with eating disorder clients, with all food intolerances, with IBS, gut issues,
NDIS
cancer
clients.
patients, NDIS with disability, mental disability clients. So we actually work diet. Diet's just like medication to improve their condition.
So I guess for individuals wanting to make that change, education, their own education in nutrition is really important, and going to see a professional like yourself is part of that.
100%.
Well, let's talk. The last one I wanted to touch on is that the link between diet and chronic diseases that you just mentioned, and illnesses. So I guess prevention as well. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, for sure. So I see some athletes, for example, they are now in 50 years old, right? They were before former foodie players or powerlifters, CrossFit.
Runners? Do you see a lot of runners that are coming to deficient?
Yeah, we see some runners as well, but just I'm talking about this like older age a little bit, already mature age, where they stopped training and just start eating whatever. So they come actually with from doctors, referred by the doctors, and they have already developed cardiovascular health issues such as high cholesterol, or already went through stroke, or ischemic heart disease, all those pathways. Also, so many people here got diverticulitis, which is gut issue, so developing those pockets in their gut because of high inflammation in their body. Or type 2 diabetes is very, very common disease as well. And it can hit you at any age, and doesn't matter that you were a professional athlete in your previous years. But if you will continue eating this, high saturated fat diet, junk foods instead of just whole foods, and having that disordered eating where it's like whatever, lots of chocolate, lots of alcohol, lots of ice cream, and it's just not having this routine, pretty much healthy eating at least most days, people start developing chronic diseases, which is not fun.
Definitely not. Last one, sorry, that was meant to be the last one. You just mentioned alcohol. I think it's probably important while we've got you both here to quickly touch on alcohol and the harm of alcohol as well. There's just been something coming out in the news recently about alcohol actually being good for you as well, and in moderation.
Like one beer.
1-2 beers a day, I think it was. So, what's information you've got for us on alcohol?
Well, I don't want to ruin your fun or anyone's fun here. It's okay to have a glass or two, wine or just beer. It's all good, but I'm not talking about like 10 beers per day or 7 rums, gin and tonics. It's okay to have fun and just relax. It's all good in moderation. It's just not in big amounts.
Yeah, good advice. All right, well, we've got to finish up, but Jazz, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Good luck with your season coming up next year with the Titans. Hope you go really well. And Lina, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mitch, for having me here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Change the Game. Proudly brought to you by the QCCS Mackay Cutters.